Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com in the third week of May 2025. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any local community in America and beyond. Reality TV personality Jane Bright died May 15, 2025 at her home in Jackson Springs, North Carolina at the age of 71. She competed on Survivor Nicaragua in 2010 after 10 attempts to win a spot on the popular reality show. Bright is being remembered as the season's fan favorite, despite coming in 6th place. Actress Joan O'Brien died May 5, 2025 at the age of 89. She starred alongside greats like Cary Grant and John Wayne in such movies as Operation Petticoat, The Alamo, and The Comancheros. O'Brien is being remembered for starring as Elvis Presley's love interest in It Happened at the World's Fair. Actor George Wendt died May 20, 2025 at his home in Los Angeles. He died in his sleep at the age of 76. He was a star of the classic sitcom Cheers, playing the beloved barfly Norm in all 275 episodes from 1982 to 1993. Wendt is also being remembered as one of SNL's Chicago Bears superfans in a popular recurring sketch. Composer Charles Strouse died May 15, 2025 at his home in New York City at the age of 96. He won Tony Awards for the music he composed for Bye Bye Birdie, Applause, and Annie. Strouse is also being remembered as the composer of the theme song to All in the Family, Those Were the Days. Former U.S. Senator Christopher Kit Bond died May 13, 2025 in St. Louis at the age of 86. He was a two-term governor of Missouri in the 1970s and 80s. Just 33 when he was first elected, he was the youngest governor in the state's history. Bond is also being remembered for representing Missouri as a Republican for 4 terms in the U.S. Senate. Actress Kathleen Hughes died May 19, 2025 at the age of 96. She was a scream queen in the classic 1950s horror film It Came from Outer Space, and she posed for the movie's iconic promotional photo. Hughes is also being remembered for her roles on such TV shows as MASH, The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, and Bracken's World. U.S. Representative Gerry Connolly died May 21, 2025 at his home in Fairfax County, Virginia. He died after fighting esophageal cancer at the age of 75. He represented Virginia's 11th District in the U.S. House for 9 terms from 2009 until his death. Connolly is being remembered as the ranking member of the powerful House Oversight Committee. At least 28 people died in Kentucky, Missouri, and Virginia in a series of tornadoes and storms from Friday, May 16th through the weekend. Some of the most touching obituaries we saw this week at Legacy weren't for celebrities, but for everyday people like you and me. Those include the proud owner of a local grocery store in Kentucky who loved playing golf, storytelling, and Mardi Gras. A librarian, grandmother, and photographer who left her family some 200,000 photos full of memories. A 101-year-old great-grandmother who loved serving her church, knitting beautiful Afghans, and betting on the horse races. And a master stoneworker from Georgia who was awarded the Carnegie Hero Fund Medal for rescuing his neighbors from their burning home. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 10 years ago this week, comedian and actress Ann Mira died at the age of 85. She and her husband, Gerry Stiller, formed a popular comedy team in the 1960s, and they later worked together in The King of Queens. 30 years ago this week, actress Elizabeth Montgomery died at the age of 62. She starred in the classic sitcom Bewitched, playing the suburban witch Samantha Stevens. 50 years ago this week, comedian and actress Moms Mabley died at the age of 78. She was a stand-up comedy pioneer who made appearances on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and The Pearl Bailey Show. This month in the United States is Memorial Day. In honor of America's veterans, we at Legacy salute our charity partner, the Doughboy Foundation, dedicated to honoring the memory of those who served in World War I. Every day, without fail, a bugle honors those brave Americans by playing taps at the National World War I Memorial in Washington, D.C. You can personally dedicate that bugle call in the name of a veteran you love by visiting doughboy.org. That's DOUGHBOY.org. Also, any of our viewers can help support the Doughboy Foundation with a charitable donation of any size. Just visit doughboy.org to donate. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Washington have been lowered to honor the memory of Senator Bill Ramos. Flags in Indiana have been lowered to honor the memory of former Elkhart Mayor Richard Lee Dick Moore. Flags in Maryland have been lowered to honor the memory of emergency vehicle driver Charles Mudra and Lieutenant Mark Dranbauer Jr. of the Baltimore City Fire Department, both of whom died in the line of duty. Flags in Ohio have been lowered to honor the memory of Cleveland Fire Cadet Simeon Williams. Flags in Wyoming have been lowered to honor the memory of former state representative Rodney Pete Anderson. Flags in Kansas have been lowered to honor the memory of Butler County paramedic Justin Loppy, who died in the line of duty. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. Follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.